Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne. It is May the 1st. The year's 2019. May Day. Let's talk trading beginnings. So we're going to begin the month. And every time you enter a trade, that's a beginning. And, if you're just getting started in trading, you're beginning trading. And it's really important to begin properly, begin correctly. Quote unquote, begin right. I hate saying right because right, wrong, we kind of get caught in that duality, which, if you're right, then something else has to be wrong. And see, really in trading, the only thing that we talk about is profitable, not profitable. Everything else comes in second. And before we get into it, it seems like I've managed to get myself banned again. When I post my YouTube video, I noticed that they had a bunch of different places you could post. You could post to Facebook. You can post to, Blogger. You can post to Twitter, Tumblr. And then there's Reddit. And I guess I had a Reddit account. So there was a Forex, I don't know exactly what you call it over there, group, thread, something on Reddit. And I read their rules, and they said you can't post links to your YouTube channel. Now, this is what's kind of interesting. I posted a link to my video, not to my channel, because see, when there's a channel, when you post to your channel, then it's like all the videos. So I posted once, I think I posted twice. Next thing I know, I'm banned. So now I've appealed to one of the moderators there, and it's like, look, it said channel. It didn't say video. If it would have said no links to YouTube videos, then I would have known not to do that. But it's really interesting. I don't understand why. Well, I do in some cases, like at Forex Factory, because they make a lot of money off of traders. But on these other sites, why is it they're just so adamant about not sharing information from other locations? It's just so stupid to me. But anyway, but one thing that's not stupid is money and risk management. If you don't do that, you're going to get in trouble sooner or later. It's just that simple. You have got to manage your money via your risk. And so, once again, risk is how much or the percent of your portfolio you're willing to lose on any given trade. And for those of you just tuning in, all gaps filled this week. And you can see here, once again, we were out of that weekly wick zone and we hit that weekly midpoint again. That's a target to aim for. Maybe I should put the mid dots here and you can really see that. But, once again, out of the wick zone, shooting for the mid, and that would have been worth about 56 pips or so. Okay, looking at the year-to-date analyze template here, you can see we're still red for the year. We're only down by 34 pips, and you can see the crisscrossing here. How many times that happened. So you see we started the year. Here's the open. We're just oscillating around that open. For the week, we're going to look at the first day here. First day of the week was here. You see we popped out. And that was good for about, 10, 12 pips or so. If you got that breakout. And you can see we're still within that yearly range of the first day of the year. And so far, we've got a new month right here. That's today. So we're now we're working on that first day of the month. And just here's the opens, and it's a new month. So we need to update Oh, and there was somebody that said I was a clown. He did it once. I said, thanks for the feedback. But then when he came back and he had to do it a second time, I had to just ban him. I mean, really? You know, grown people acting like that, it, it's just no cause for that nonsense. I mean, hey, if you don't like what I do, scroll on by. But to sit there and, basically throw stones, not going to tolerate that. I mean, if you've got a legitimate beef, you want to have a civilized argument based in logic. Oh, look at the Euro franc. I accidentally clicked twice. Kind of interesting. It's definitely the zones are really overlapping. Yesterday was an inside bar, and you see we got that inside bar break once. So be looking to trade that inside bar break. We also had one on the NASDAQ Swiss franc yesterday. The euro, we're looking at also inside bar for the month right now so far. So we want to switch over and look at that monthly. You can see here last month was an inside bar. Right there you see the break of the day, but the range is really bad. But it's FOMC in about an hour and a half, so maybe we'll get some more ranges here. But this is just anemic, 27 pips compared to the yen here, 42 pips. And here we've got the highest open for the month, which is also for the week, which is also for the day because it's the first day of the month. Actually, it's not the first day of the week because it's Wednesday. But since this is higher than the rest of the week, it is the month, it gets whatever one is the highest that uses that label. So you can see here we had a nice little pullback off of that holo high, which we'll show in a minute. I think we've got the holo charts here. And the pivot point was here, just below the short zone, but we haven't had a trigger. So right here, there was a long trigger once, a couple of pro triggers here, and you can see we are now heading back towards the daily open. Rat zone with 27 pip range, 26 pip range. There's no rat zone trades to really be had at this moment. We've got a missed pivot, and you can see here we're heading towards the April pivot that they wanted to take out. And we've got the actually this is the April pivot, this is the May pivot right here. So we'll see which pivot gets taken out first. Oh, I wanted to show you another pair here, the dollar yen because I was looking at this, and once again you see we've got a bunch of missed pivots. We've like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months in a row we've missed one pivot. And we'll see if we can take out the high pivots or do we take out the lower pivots here. These three here. Here's all the missed pivots. Now some people like to trade the pivots looking at the week. As you can see here, we hadn't missed a pivot for what, 17, 18, a couple years in a row. And we've got 2 missed here, so maybe these will get taken out. These are 1,000 pips away. I really wouldn't hold your breath for these. But going back to the euro yen, you can see once again weekly pivots don't get missed that often. So for those of you who like to trade those pivots, using them as targets, there you go. And in case you're wondering, these are the indicators here. So you've got the missed pivots and the missed pivots plot, and the bars that go pivot right there, which is a donational. But these others aren't. Probably should have made them donational. Powerful stuff. But I like to spread the wealth, so to say. And price action. 3 ball at the top. You see red at the line, or pro trades at this line. 2 ball at the bottom. Another pro trade here, green at the line. But once again, 27 pip range is just, you just don't have the motion. Just don't have the room to make any money. And we're back in the upper wick zone on the daily. Look for that to come out during FOMC. I could be wrong, but I would think that it will come out during the announcement. Just a couple trading off a previous day's high. A couple of nice trades there. And here's those pivots. Let's switch over to the daily. I mean, not pivots, but the mid dots. The pivots are purple and these are magenta, but sometimes when they're that small, it's easy to mix up the colors. But you can see here the midpoint on the daily, how many times it gets hit, how many times it misses. But you can run a frequency distribution on those. I do believe we could test for that. You would just say if it opened above and the low was below the midpoint, or if it opened below and the high was above, and then you can get those, run those frequency distributions or price travel analyzing. But you're basically running statistics. Tick chart, as you can see, once again, anemic. It's just not giving you anything at all. And the Einstein line here, there was a trade, probably take a pip. Once again, with 27 pip range at this time, New York session, that's all it's doing. It's not doing much, that's for sure. And I talked about the frequency, the range, 27. Weekly range so far has been 84 pips, but today is just anemic. And the high minus open frequency. I should probably update these to put what the current is, but because this is high minus open. And once again, the range just anemic. 32% of the average, or we've got 82 pip average. Well, that's it, fellow traders. Beginnings, make sure you start right. And just remember, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks.